When talking about learning disorders, people use different terminology, such as difference, disorder, and disability. Do they all mean the same thing? When should they be used? I'll try to answer each of these individually. First, I want to talk about learning differences. Although all of us should celebrate that we have different styles of learning and that my way of learning is different than another's, learning difference seems to be used by people describing when they have an area of weakness amidst other skills that are either intact or strong. That term for me implies that we have to pay attention to the area of weakness so that we can help offset that and not have it cause any disruption, and to allow the other strengths and skills to move along as effectively as possible. When we use the word learning disorder, we're actually thinking about real conditions that we can identify that disrupt an individual's ability to perform well in the area of difficulty. The kind of struggles that we see are brain-based conditions that impair an individual's ability to perform as effectively as their peers who don't have those conditions. We've done many years of scientific study, so we understand in dyslexia that there is a brain area that seems to be affected by dyslexia, and it disrupts an individual's ability to sound out words and to sequence those sounds and words. That slows them down in learning to read and disrupts their ability to perform well. That's not what happens in typically developing readers. And so the term disorder captures the area of difficulty, the condition, and the disruption that they experience or the impairment they experience in learning. When we talk about the term learning disability, I tend to think of that as being a label that describes a legal condition. It certainly can mean that the student is struggling to do something as well as others, but it also captures the fact that we have protections for students who have learning struggles and disabilities, that we want to protect them and level the playing field with others. So in this context, school districts tend to classify students as having a learning disability, which means that you're entitled to an individual education plan that can make sure you have free and appropriate public education services so that the learning that you get, the kind of instruction you get in school, is tailored to your needs. It is also true that students who have the label disability can be entitled to other accommodations and supports that help them compete against others. The example that I might use is for a math student who struggles or a student who struggles with reading. If they're expected to take a timed test and be compared against other students who can take that test but have no disability, they're going to be disadvantaged and less able to perform. So disability allows them to have extra time to do the things that they're naturally slower at. So these terms are not interchangeable, but they all capture different aspects of what we think of when we think about learning struggles or learning disorders. To learn more, visit childmind.org.